This question comes from Marcus, who asks, if World War III started tomorrow, what would actually happen? How fast would things spiral? And would it really end civilization? Let's start with the obvious. World War III wouldn't begin with mushroom clouds right away. Despite decades of doomsday movies, no modern nation wants to launch nuclear weapons first. In fact, almost every major nuclear power has adopted policies that specifically avoid first strike scenarios. So the opening shots of a global war would almost certainly be boring. Not literally, of course, more like terrifyingly conventional. Cyber attacks knocking out power grids, swarms of drones buzzing over naval fleets, and satellite jammers turning GPS into an expensive paperweight. But even before the first battle, something surprising would happen. Global markets would collapse overnight. Within hours of a World War III declaration, international trading would freeze. Cargo ships would anchor offshore, oil futures would skyrocket. According to a 2023 RAND Corporation report, just a single day of total war panic could erase more wealth than the 2008 financial crisis. Imagine every bank account number suddenly feeling like a high score in a video game, completely meaningless if no one trusts the system anymore. Meanwhile, militaries would race to mobilize. But here's the thing, the modern world runs on just-in-time logistics. Fighter jets don't have garages full of spare parts. They rely on shipments from halfway around the planet. Within a week, most armies would struggle to maintain peak strength. A Pentagon analyst once joked that the biggest killer in WWII wouldn't be missiles. It would be missing microchips from Taiwan. And while humans fought humans, AI would quietly rewrite the rules. Automated defense systems, cyber warfare algorithms, and drone swarms could escalate skirmishes faster than human commanders could react. Military theorist Paul Scharr has warned that AI-enabled warfare might unfold in machine time, milliseconds too fast for humans to stop catastrophic decisions. In other words, by day 3, generals might be bystanders in their own war. But let's be honest, this is the part everyone really wants to know. What about nukes? Nuclear powers operate on a principle called mutually assured destruction, meaning if one launches, others respond, and everyone loses. In practice, this creates a strange kind of safety net. Firing first is basically signing your own extinction warrant. That's why experts believe nuclear strikes wouldn't happen on day 1. However, accidents do. In 1983, Soviet officer Stanislav Petrov single-handedly stopped nuclear Armageddon when early warning systems falsely reported incoming US missiles. If a similar glitch happened during WWII's chaos, NOCOM thinking Petrov might be around to call it off. The odds of an accidental launch? Hard to calculate, but US defense reports have quietly admitted near misses happen every few years. Suppose nukes did fly. What then? Hollywood shows an instant fireball apocalypse, but the reality would be weirder. Cities would burn, yes, but the planet itself wouldn't instantly vanish. Scientists from Princeton's nuclear war simulation estimate that a full U.S. Russia exchange could kill over 90 million people within hours. Horrific, but Earth would still have 7 billion survivors in those first days. The true killer would be nuclear winter. When dozens of cities burn, they inject so much soot into the atmosphere that sunlight dims for years. A 2019 study in Science Advances suggests global crop production could drop by 80%. Surviving the bombs might only mean slowly starving afterward. Yet not every light would go out. Remote regions, say, Antarctic research stations, underground seed vaults in Norway, or self-sufficient ocean rigs, could survive the first waves. Ironically, the best places to ride out WWI might be places no one wanted to live before. What about technology? Power grids would likely collapse within days under cyber attacks and EMP pulses. But not all electricity dies at once. Like the solar-powered emergency call boxes that would survive humanity's disappearance, isolated microgrids, submarine reactors, and even abandoned geothermal plants might keep humming silently for years, serving no one. Imagine stumbling decades later onto a frozen wasteland lit only by a forgotten offshore wind turbine blinking its lonely LED. And civilization? History shows humans are annoyingly hard to wipe out. After the Black Death killed half of Europe, societies rebuilt in less than a century. Even after a nuclear World War III, scientists estimate small, scattered human communities would persist, hunter-gatherer style, across Africa, South America, and Australasia. Cities would fall, but humanity wouldn't vanish. Centuries later, if you walked across those ruins, you might find strange survivors of our war, old satellites still orbiting, flickering signals from ghostly space probes, and deep underground, glowing blocks of nuclear waste, the same eerie blue Cherenka flight that would outlast our skyscrapers and our governments. So, what happens if World War III starts tomorrow? In the short term, markets crash, logistics crumble, AI fights humans, and nukes threaten but hesitate. In the medium term, famine, fallout, and freezing darkness follow. And in the longest term, far beyond our lifetimes, deep concrete vaults will still hold the only evidence humans once ruled this planet: glowing blue light, shining silently in the dark.